Well, in every life, a little rain must fall, and we have more rain on the way. But you know what? The payoff after this rain is worth the wait. I'll have your forecast straight ahead.
Breaking barriers in the auto industry this afternoon. We're following the opening of a new auto supply company and its impact in Detroit. And remember this precious little boy. Detroit police and other law enforcement are fighting the danger on our roads in his name. Paula.
Hi, Karen. Hi, everybody. Imagine being able to wipe out $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in debt or more. Lots of people with student loans would love to imagine that. The question is this just talk, or where is this going exactly? These stories and more are happening right now on Local 4 First at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And let's start with that breaking news. Stocks slumping on Wall Street, erasing the rally we showed you just 24 hours ago. The Fed raised a key interest rate yesterday, and investors seemed happy at first. But today, the Dow Jones has been dropping all day long, down 1,000 points. Analysts say traders are starting to worry if the moves to fight inflation could actually slow down the economy. It's a push-pull that we will be watching for you, of course. And first at 4, Detroit's newest auto supply plant, adding jobs and also breaking barriers. This is our first look inside. Dakota Integrated Systems built the plant on the former site of Detroit Kettering High School. Now, the woman-owned auto supplier will build instrument panels for Jeep vehicles made at Stellantis's Mack and Jefferson plants. About 500 workers are employed at the plant, including 400 newly created positions. Dakota Chair and CEO Andra Rush says she's looking to make an impact in the city.
I said, you know, if we can locate purposeful work, and that vision also came from the leaders at Ford, Jim and Chrysler, Bill Ford, and General Motors, Mary Barra, but when you do that, I promise you, it is an impact that's life-changing.
Officials say more than 40% of the plant's employees are women. Police from across Metro Detroit are mapping out ways to improve highway safety while also honoring a very young life lost. They're talking about year 2 of Operation Bryson. It's a safety campaign named for 2-year-old Bryson Christian, who was killed on I-75 in Detroit when someone in another car opened fire. The campaign is getting police agencies to work together to put more patrols on freeways, also find root causes of how something so tragic could happen.
This is not just a Detroit problem. This is an our problem. Our freeways are being used as pathways of escape from violence perpetrated not only in Detroit but in our neighboring communities.
Next step in Operation Bryson, Chief White says, may be an expansion and improvement of freeway camera systems to help look at exit and entry points to look for suspect vehicles if there is a violent incident. Switching to your first forecast. We sure hope that you're enjoying a break from all that rain because it's not going to last too long. Let's get to meteorologist Paul Gross for a quick look at this evening. Paul.
Yeah, hi, Karen. Right now, most of us are dry. We do, in fact, I think all of us are dry. This may not even be reaching the ground down here. So we're at least dry right now. And I'm wondering if your eyes maybe were caught on this right here. That is actually not precipitation. What that is, and I've seen this before, it's a controlled burn in this wildlife refuge area here at Walpole Island. The wind is blowing from the east, so you can see the smoke plume is being taken from west to east. So here, let's widen this thing out here. Let's just widen it back out. And again, we're all dry here across the area, so that's certainly good news. We are, you can see just a little bit of, you've got that rain down here. But again, most of us are dry at this point. This stuff will be advancing in during the evening hours, but staying to the south. Right now, temperatures generally near 60 degrees. We'll be falling slowly through the evening hours. And then, Karen, we have a wonderful Mother's Day to talk about and beyond. We'll do that in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Russia's invasion of Ukraine seems to be stuck at a deadly, dangerous deadlock. 10 weeks into the war, Russian troops haven't really made any huge gains, but Ukraine hasn't been able to kick them out. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with the latest from the battlefield and a new crackdown on an associate of Vladimir Putin's. Kim?
Karen, more on the seizure of a super yacht coming up in just a moment. But first, Ukrainian troops have been able to turn this war into an intense struggle. They're fighting Russian troops village by village as Russia tries to gain momentum in the Donbas region. So today, the Ukrainian military says it has repelled Russian attacks in the east and has even recaptured some areas in the south. Russia turned its focus in that direction when it could not quickly take over the capital of Kyiv. We're also told heavy fighting continues at the infamous steel plant in Mariupol. Russia denies storming the compound, but up to 2,000 Ukrainians remain inside, refusing to surrender. A Red Cross convoy is heading to the plant, hoping to get more people out. If Russia can win the battle for Mariupol, it would become its biggest victory so far. Well, now to the worldwide crackdown on Russian oligarchs with close ties to Vladimir Putin. Law enforcement in Fiji has seized a 348-foot yacht owned by Suleiman Karimov, who's been sanctioned by the U.S. Our Justice Department says he made money through corruption and Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea. The U.S. government estimates the ship is worth $300 million. And finally, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says a vote on more U.S. aid for Ukraine could come as soon as next week. Although the House is on recess, Pelosi says a bipartisan negotiation is going on right now. They're drafting legislation to cover President Biden's request for another $33 billion for support in Ukraine's war effort. So, Karen, we'll keep you posted on all the new developments. For now, though, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Well, there is a huge debate going on today about whether to forgive student loan debt, how much to forgive, and how to make it happen. Today, Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel jumped into that debate. She joined 8 other attorneys general to urge President Biden to cancel the federal student debt owed by every federal borrower in the country. Right now, student borrowers owe more than $1.7 trillion to the federal government. This coalition argues the cancellation will allow them to do things like purchase new homes and save for their retirements. Paula Tutman has been digging into exactly what that means, and Paula's specific answers have been really hard to come by on this.
Yeah, they really have been, Karen. So I'm going to throw a term out at you, and that's thought float. And when I talk to educators as well as, people who owe money, alum, students, people owe $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, they think about that term because they have absolutely no idea what this actually means on the street level to them. They also have no idea why states' attorneys generals are getting involved. However, the talk is out there. Thought float. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel clarified her role in addressing the student loan debt crisis in a statement that reads, in part, though student loan forgiveness is a policy decision for the president, the Attorney General believes it's important to raise awareness around this issue. Attorney General Nessel has previously been active in this area by joining with other states to pursue legal actions to secure debt forgiveness for student borrowers who've been exploited by predatory student loan practices. Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib basically says it is the federal government which holds the papers to those federal student loans and the interest rates. And so basically it's the feds doing the stick up.
I think it's important, Paula, to understand the federal government's the one that's holding the debt.
The question is, instructors still have to be paid. Universities still have bills. Who pays when the student via a government loan doesn't?
We're telling people, go to school, do all these things. And then at the top of it, we're actually charging interest onto the loans that we're providing. We hands down have done it over and over again for big banks, for even the fossil fuel industry. I cannot believe how much money they get handed out. No one ever asks how we're going to pay for that, even though they're mega billion-dollar corporations.
Okay, the question still remains. Why is this the lane for attorneys generals and a coalition of Democratic attorney generals? Gustavo Portela of the Michigan GOP says,
this is simply put, a desperate move by these attorney generals, especially Dana Nessel, to distract away from the fact that Michiganders are having to pay a ridiculous amount of money right now, more so than they can even afford for just about everything.
But when you're staring down at a $30,000, $40,000, even $80,000 student loan, the question isn't relief from debt any relief from debt, relief from debt?
There's no such thing as a free lunch. They're ultimately going to be on the hook for that.
Yeah, okay, so it's really hard to wrap this up in a nice, neat little bow because honestly, Karen, I really couldn't find the box to fit it into. I asked lots of questions, tried to get to the bottom of where this is, whether or not this is really going to happen. Remember, we're talking about more than $1 trillion worth of debt. Yep, it's got to be paid for somewhere, whether nobody asks the question or not. So a lot of people really don't understand whether or not this is really coming down the pike, whether or not it really will affect them, or whether or not this is really just kind of that same thing called thought float. In other words, floating an idea to see how it's going to land.
Definitely a lot to dig into there. We appreciate your work. Thank you so much, Paula. Still ahead first at 4, a new survey focusing on suicide, depression, and younger people who identify as LGBTQ. Some differences are pretty startling. We'll also talk about the health of Pope Francis as he makes his first public appearance in a wheelchair, how doctors are hoping to get him on his feet again. And later, a new way to make money on TikTok. All these stories coming up first at 4.